Gardening in the African context is not new. Most homes have very different sizes of gardening, but there's an attempt to make food from the garden, whether it is large or small, and it is really encouraged because that is the way a mother or a family often try to do to be able to be seen to be attempting to take care of their families. In fact, it's not just to be seen, but that is how it is. One of the challenges would be there are some regions, for example in Kenya, in the Asal areas, or that's mainly in the northeastern part of our country, Kenya. The climate is so harsh. It's really hot and nothing can grow except around the rivers like the River Tana, Lake Turkana. But organizations are slowly trying to encourage the communities to be able to use the water that is left over from their kitchen to be able to grow at least something, at least some vegetables. You know, when they don't do that, it makes it so difficult for them even to eat vegetables and fruits. So most of them would most likely feed on flesh and milk. So their diet is deficient. This is a water pump. It is actually a borehole that has been put a water pump. And we have been using the pump in the one that you can see on top for a long time. But now, because electricity is available, there's a pump that has been put right inside the water. And this water has been around for almost 40 years. It was serving the community, but now people have become more independent and are able to produce their own water. So at the bottom of it, right in front there, where there is a tree, a mango tree there is water that passes there. So we have planted arrowroots, or are they yams? They're actually arrowroots. In Kiswahili, we call them nduma, because there's a lot of water and those ones require a lot of water. Then right ahead, we have the yams. So this is a very nice project because now we are able to produce water enough for the whole house. It's the household actually. 3 families using this water, and now it is piped into their homes. Being in the village with such a project is a very good thing. Even the cows are able to drink water, the goats, the sheep, the chicken, yeah, and 1 or 2 neighbors still come around. Welcome to my mom's garden. It's a very big organic farm on 2 sides of this road or this pathway, the left and the right. Then right ahead we have the main family farm, which produces main cash crops, which are maize, beans, and after they remove the maize and beans, which normally get ready in around this time, which is in July and August actually, when beans are harvested, but the maize, for some parts of it, it's already drying up and ready for harvest right now, which is August, but most of these will be ready in October. So we have 2 seasons, rain seasons, which are in from March to August, and it's quite a lot of rain. And then we also have from October to December. These are the short rains. So we plant the short crops like beans again after we've removed the maize and beans. Then we also plant soya beans and sunflower. And of course vegetables, which is continuous. Recently we have sugarcane that has really taken over maize because of the pricing of fertilizer. which has been subsidized by the government, but it hasn't really worked well. So straight ahead, we have the maize farm, which is not organic actually. They use fertilizer. So for today, I will be showing you one side of the farm. I think I'll begin with this left side, and then the next video I'll show you the right, this side. Good morning, good morning. I hope you are doing well. If it is in the afternoon or in the evening, wherever you are, I hope all is well. So today I am in another county. In Kenya, we have 47 counties, and Bungoma is one of them. It is actually in the western part of Kenya. It's a beautiful county. It has rainfall almost throughout the year, long and short rains. So we have crops on the farm throughout. As you can see, these are just cassavas. Look at that, ready for harvest. But let me take you around my mom's farm before we get into the nitty-gritty inside the farm. So this is just the outside. You can see she has a fence that is made of posts. Actually, that's how we fence here. Then we have these trees. This is a medicinal one. I don't know how exactly what it cures, but I know this is one of the herbs that we use. And then of course we have the famous guavas. Guavas are actually everywhere. As you will see, we have so many of them on this farm of my mom. And I have the privilege of eating some of the guavas. So they're just everywhere. I don't know whether they were planted. Some of these ones, I think they just grew on their own. You know, those ones that just spring up. Yeah. So this is African Mom's World. If you are new here and this is the sort of content you like, kindly consider subscribing, because here we talk about gardening and it's mainly organic farming. We also review people's farms, but if you look at my previous videos, they are mainly about my farm, my small organic garden actually. Then also we do some travel and we just enjoy life in the countryside. So I will also be showing you different parts of our country, and maybe later on other parts of Africa and maybe the world, you never know. But this is something I like doing because it's really just about documenting. So as you can see, there are many trees here. These are indigenous trees. We call this one the umbrella tree. It mainly grows in the semi-arid areas, but interestingly here it's doing very well. I don't know what this tree is called, but there are also so many of them. So I'm just showing you around my mom's farm. Look at that. There's a lot of maize. There's a lot of maize, but it's just this stretch here. So when I finish showing you this stretch, I'm also going to show you the inside where we have a lot of vegetables growing. If you can see this maize, just look at that. Look at that. Just see the size, really big. And that's why I love organic farming. She uses mainly manure from cows, that is cow dung. She also has a few goats and they produce a little manure, but it's also used for the vegetables. Then chicken is something that is known for the western part of Kenya, from the Luhya community. A home without a chicken is really not a Luhya's home, because the chicken is our signature and we are so proud of it. So we eat a lot of chicken and ugali made from maize flour, and that's why you will see a lot of maize. So this is generally just for household use, for cooking ugali, boiling, and also for roasting. But on one of the days I will show you the bigger farm where she plants cash crops, mainly maize. Beans are already harvested, and sugarcane as well, because that's the main cash crop that we have on this side of Western Kenya. It has normally been maize and beans for a long time, but recently sugarcane is coming in because of the high input in the maize, which is really not affordable. So thank you so much for always coming back. We are at 525 subscribers, and welcome those who have not subscribed. Kindly subscribe, and also if you have any content you'd like us to do in the countryside, let us know, and let us walk this journey on YouTube or content creation together. Welcome. Life in the countryside is really interesting. It is food everywhere. Let's get into the farm and you will believe what I am saying. There's so much, and I think that's what food security is about. With our economy becoming so tough, money not easily found, unemployment, I think the best thing to do is put food on your farm so that you're able to eat what you grew, or otherwise grow what you eat. Come along with me. Just look at the size of that maize. Look at that. Very good crop. It has really done well. Look at the way they have been planted. The distance from one maize stalk to the other, and also the rows. Done so well. And I think that's why we have a good harvest. And so here we have planted green grams, and they are doing really well. They are just about to start flowering. Look at that. And in between them, on the side, we have cassava, 3 different varieties. And then on this side, we have maize. If you can see very well, there is a plant in between the green grams, and that is a young mango tree. So there are cassavas here, and these ones have become so bushy. I'm told they have been harvested several times, so these ones are ready to be removed. So they'll just be dug out so as to plant something else. Look at this loquat tree. It has so many fruits. Just look at that. Neighboring this guava tree. You remember there's one I had picked, a guava? This is another one. Then down here, just look at this. Look at this. Look, 1, 2. These ones are even just uncountable. Look at those young seedlings. Look at this. All these are loquat seedlings. If you want some, let me know. I can see how to get them to you. If you're near here or within reach, I can give some to you. This is the famous cherry tomato. My goodness, just see how big it is. And it is still flowering. Look at that. It has become sort of a bush. Look at that. So many fruits. Look at them. And what I didn't know is that cherry tomatoes can also grow big if they receive enough manure. Wow, the ones I have at my place are actually just small ones, but these ones, some have grown so big. But these are tomatoes that I really like. They are so sweet. Look at that. If you just have enough manure, you can have a lot of cherry tomatoes. Avocado tree. It is so big and it has flowered, so many flowers. So the harvest here is going to be so big. She has so many avocados on the farm, so she has avocados throughout the year. They fruit in different seasons. But right here at the bottom, we also have the compost. There's a big compost hole there. That's where they put the manure. Then from there, it's used to plant different crops. So this is real organic farming. Yeah. And there's so many cherry tomatoes. Mom, lilo eliosi. Lilia ninia. So this is another hole. Other than the cow dung I talked about, this is a hole where the chicken waste is poured. So this is chicken waste because she keeps a number of birds. I know they produce so much dung. They need to have a place. I can see already worms forming. So this really has to be managed. It's far from home. And it's looking like this because it has rained. So eventually this is going to be used to plant vegetables. So other than cow dung, we were also going to use the chicken manure and also this composting from other wastes, including the dirt that is removed from maize cobs. Look at the maize stalks. Some are sugarcane waste and some are after digging, whatever remains. Then we have trees, the Nandi flame, and all the trees that pour a lot of leaves, including this avocado itself. This is where it is placed, and eventually it will be chopped, and then it will be used for planting. So I'm under this mango tree. Look, it has so many flowers, but also it still has mangoes from the previous season. Wow, this thing is just surprising. It just doesn't dry. The well doesn't dry. There's always a fruit. So there are several on them, but this is now the season for it to flower. So these are seeds from another vegetable. It's like the kale family. It's very soft. Very soft. Then these are cowpeas. You know, when you plant them in between the maize, at a certain stage it becomes difficult for you to harvest them. So they just have to let them to have seeds. Do you know these berries? Do you know these berries? Look at that. Ready to eat. I'll just eat it. This is a variety of African nightshade. The berries are very many. Look at that. This is a popular vegetable in Western Kenya. It can be used, it cannot be cooked alone because it's too slimy. So normally it is mixed with other vegetables, especially cowpeas. So just this small section has so many vegetables. It has a lot of food. So we have potatoes. We call them Irish potatoes. Why they're called Irish potatoes, I don't know. Then we have this African nightshade. Then we have beans. Some have already been harvested. Actually, these are the ones that have just cropped up after the harvest. You see, the potatoes are already flowering. Then we have this very nice vegetable. We call it saga in my mother tongue. And in Kiswahili as well. I don't know what it is called in English, but I'll put the name on the video. And this is how we harvest it. Like this. We normally mix it with the African nightshade. Then we have this one. This one we call it jute malo, mito, which you also mix it with this one. This makes a very nice vegetable. So all this is in one place. Just look at that. So just in this small section you can get like almost 4 types of vegetables. Look at that. Very nice.